Coach, gotta ask about Draymond. Did you agree with the call of a flagrant?
I haven't seen a replay, so I have no comment on it.
How big a swing is it losing Draymond at that moment?
Huge swing. We kind of felt good about, having him at the 5, spreading the floor. We got shooters out there. Obviously changed the lineup around. We thought that could really get Steph some space, and Draymond could use his speed. You saw he got that layup the first play of the second half, and so I felt good about having him out there, and he lost his poise.
You turned to Pods and to Kuminga in the closing lineup over Clay and Andrew. What went into that decision?
He was playing better than those guys.
So Draymond's been ejected 3 times this season. Obviously, he's got the suspension. Who knows what's to come? How big a problem is just his, not only his unavailability tonight, but really parts of this season?
Yeah, we need him. We need Draymond, but he knows that. We've talked to him, and he's got to find a way to keep his poise and be out there for his teammates.
Coach, last time you talked about Draymond not crossing the line. What can be done to stop this from continuing to happen?
We'll keep working.
Steve, when does it become more of a detriment than a positive?
Draymond's still a hell of a player, still a really good player.
Yeah.
So we need him. If we're going to be a really good team, we need him.
You've made some pretty drastic lineup changes, not even just the close, but you obviously started different in the second half. I know it was a tonight thing, but are you tilting that way more into the future?
I have no idea. Honestly, we were just trying to win the game tonight, and we were struggling with some of the lineups out there, and we've made the decision. I made the decision at halftime to put a different lineup out there, and felt good about it. But we obviously did not follow through and play a very good second half.
Chris Paul and Sarge look good. The regular, have they been this good?
Our bench has been a huge positive for us all year. It seems like every game our bench has to come in and kind of rescue the game, and our starting group just hasn't been able to put it together, and that's it's kind of why we're treading water and not finding any traction so far this season. So we've got to just keep searching. There's a ton of season left, and I like our players, I like our roster, but we got to get guys playing with more confidence and playing in a more connected manner.
Steve, you mentioned the spacing. Besides the fact that Jonathan and Brandon obviously played well in the first half, the motive for that switch was to space the court more, to spread it more?
Yeah, and just to change the kind of the energy. We had a 13-point lead, 40-27. I think kind of 7-minute mark of the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, and we've got to be able to keep that lead and keep playing well. But as soon as we went away from the bench, things kind of slipped from us. So that was the reason for the change at halftime. The starting group didn't get off to a good start at the beginning of the game, and didn't have a great stretch there in the second quarter. So, look, we're 10-13. We have to find ways to win games, and so we were searching tonight.
Coach, whether it's turnovers, fouls, ejections, does it surprise you that a team with this many veterans who's won this many championships, we're still talking about discipline in those 3 areas?
Yeah, we've always been a little wild as a team. It's kind of, part of our identity is that we play with a lot of pace, and, we let it fly, and I think our guys thrive in that manner. But where we are now as a team compared to 5 years ago, we have to win more of the little battles within the game. We've got to win the margins. We've talked about it actually since the first day of camp, and we have not been able to do that. And so the turnovers and the fouls are way more exposed now. We've always been a high turnover team, but they're more exposed now because we're not obviously as talented and as good as we were a few years ago. So we're trying to make those adjustments, and we'll keep working at them.
What did you see tonight that was causing Andrew to struggle so much?
He just didn't have it. It wasn't his game, and so that's why I went away from him. I just felt like tonight I had to play the guys who were playing the best, and let's just I've been really patient and trying to get everybody kind of organized into groups and give guys freedom and space, but tonight did not feel like a night to have a lot of patience. We needed some urgency, and that's why I made the moves.
How did you think Clay kind of handled it?
Handled what?
This is really the first time you haven't closed with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's disappointed. It's not easy being in that situation, but same with Loon and Wiggs. I mean, these are tough nights, but this is the NBA. It's a really difficult league. It's a dream job for these guys, and it's also incredibly difficult. You get booed, benched, injured, traded, cut. It's not easy. And so every season is filled with ups and downs and moments where, you really struggle individually, whether it's with your game or with what's happening. And we're all human. Every player goes through stuff. And a big part of being in the NBA is dealing with all that adversity and fighting back and finding your way back.
You mentioned earlier in the season a lot that you saw the blueprint for success for this team. How much has that blueprint maybe gone out the window, or how much do you still hold?
It's not out the window by any means. I still see a chance for this team to be really good, but we obviously have to find something. Right now, we're not good enough. We know that we're not connected enough. To win in this league, especially in a league, Western Conference, that's really deep and has great teams. Everything's got to be lined up right, and we've got to be connected and playing well, and right now we're not. So that's on me as the head coach to try to fix that.
How much is Podziemski becoming part of that blueprint?
I'm sorry?
How much is Brandon becoming part of that blueprint?
Brandon's great. I mean, he's, it's every night, he rebounds, he defends, he's a two-way player, and that's what it takes, to win in this league. You got to have two-way guys, so he's earning all of his minutes.
You think these guys will get the message?
I'll definitely give it to him.
By what you did in the game,
Yeah.
you sent the message.
We have a lot of experience. We have, guys who have been through an awful lot, won titles, lost titles. We've seen it all. And so this is just something that we're dealing with this year that's new, these circumstances are new, but everything that these guys have been through, I know them, they'll fight back. Thanks.
This one was a tough one, Brandon. What did you see out there that you guys could have done differently to have a different outcome?
It was just like certain stretches of the game where we just didn't bring it both sides of the ball, and we built up a couple leads, both in the first half and in the third quarter, and then there's just spurts where we just lackadaisical. We don't bring energy and toughness, and those are the stretches where they came back. And then obviously late we tried to fight back, and we almost had it, but we just can't have those stretches as a championship level team in order to win games. I mean, we've lost so many games by under 5 points this year. It's just those mental lapses that we have and those short amount of stretches. Probably the main reason why we lost.
And what is it as a team that you're trying to do to address those lapses and those things that you talked about?
I mean, we've addressed them. I mean, everybody from Steph to Chris to Dre has addressed those situations, and at some point it just has to click for people, and you just have to, know what to do. And a lot of stuff that it comes down to is when you just play hard and fight and play with energy, like I try to do every night. I mean, good things reward you. The basketball gods reward you, and for those that are just letting the game come or not letting the game come to them and trying to force and not playing with energy, I mean, they're not going to reward you with certain aspects of the game.
Good. Anything else? Good.
See you taking a long look there at the box score, is there something that stood out on looking at the sheet there?
Nah.
What would you say went down this game that caused you guys to not be able to come back within a good amount of time where it wasn't there at the end?
Games like that, you got to stay together, execute, control the ball, different things like that. Where we didn't have a couple plays go our way.
The way you guys fought back at the end, you had a chance. It just seemed like there was a play or two or a stop or two might have made a difference. Do you agree? And what did you see at the very end down there?
Yeah. We play hard. We played hard. And then the fact that we lost by such a small margin shows that just to clean up a couple of those mistakes, careless mistakes we made a little earlier in the game, it changed the outcome a lot.
Steve was saying us that you as a team might have lost some confidence. He was trying to get it back together. What would have to happen for you guys to turn things around and get back to what you guys are capable of, what you guys showing the best?
I didn't say that, so I can't really I don't necessarily know what the thing is. I'm not gonna necessarily say that. That's somebody else's opinion. But I feel like we got to execute. We got to clean up those things, and I know those guys. I know they confidence to a fault. Some of them. Not to a fault, but just everybody believes in themselves, and through the highs and lows that they've all been through it. They've been in the NBA. It's a lot of stuff you got to go through, so they're mentally tough enough, and I think we just got to clean up those small mistakes.
Did the Draymond Green ejection have an impact on the momentum of the game?
Draymond has impact on the game, so obviously with him not being there, that's gonna affect the game. But he is who he is, so mistakes happen, different things.
Cool. Thank you.